Hi guys, and welcome back to Hilltop Farm, and welcome to another lesson in Wicca. This week's lesson is lesson 18, and what are we doing today? It is the drawing down of the sun and the moon. Let's commence. Now, what have we got here for you today? Now, this lesson's going to start off, and you'll see when you do your printout, it starts off with a little message from me. Okay. At the beginning of this course, many students are keen to do more than one lesson per week. By this stage, however, many are now worried about falling behind. I know you've been given a lot of stuff to memorize, much of which you don't yet see the relevance of. There are two things I want to say about this. Firstly, don't worry about falling behind. There is no such thing. There is no minimum speed. It is better to take 10 years and become a proficient witch rather than cram your studies into 10 months and become a lousy one. Secondly, I want to impress on you the importance of learning this stuff, not just reading it. There are 3 stages to becoming proficient at ritual. At first, you will be reading most of the words from crib sheets. There is nothing wrong with this up to a point. I know there are some covens where the high priestess and high priest still use crib sheets, even for routine espeits. There is nothing wrong with crib sheets, but your rituals will become much more powerful and much more interesting when you have memorized the words and can recite them by heart. Then after a while you will enter the 3rd stage, where you no longer recite the old words but begin to speak your own words from the heart. Then your rituals will really fly. But you can't just start off at stage 3 now, or the words you invent may not work. You need to master the first 2 stages first. This is why I want you to memorize as much as possible beforehand. I don't expect you to begin your first rituals knowing all of it. But I do want you to be familiar with the basic concepts. That way you will get far more out of it. So this week I want you to learn some of the words you will recite in the espit. Please do try to memorize as much as possible. All this stuff may seem a bit strange at first, but when the ritual begins, you will see how it all fits together. I have said before that Wicca is dynamic positive thinking, and by dynamic I mean energized. One way we work up the energy is by reciting the witch's rune at the start of our rituals. Please don't play around with this. It is much more powerful than you might think at the moment. For now, please just learn it in your head. Don't start reciting it or chanting it until you are in a circle. The witch's rune. Darksome night and shining moon, east and south and west and north, hearken to the witch's rune. Hear us as we call you forth, earth and water, air and fire. Wand and pentacle and sword, hearken unto our desire. Come ye as the charm is made, Queen of the sky, Queen of the earth, Horn hunter of the night. Lend your power unto our spell. Work our will by magic right. By all the powers of earth and sea, by all the powers of moon and sun. As we do will, so mote it be. Work the spell, and be it done. Drawing down the moon. Each full and dark moon witches all round the world turn to the goddess to feel her empowerment. This is in no way a slight against the god, since the moon is ruled by the goddess and it is her energy that we celebrate at this time. The god simply steps back, for she is the bright and shining one for the night and of each month, whether the moon be full or dark. Whether it's a ritual to just simplify, enjoy the powers of the moon, or a ritual where the goddess is called upon to descend into you, a moon ritual is between you and the goddess. Drawing down the moon is an extremely important ritual in many witchcraft covens. During the ritual, the high priestess of the coven enters a trance and becomes the goddess, which is symbolized by the moon. This transformation is often accomplished with the help of the high priest, who invokes or draws down the goddess into the high priestess. Unfortunately, in some Wiccan covens, they also feel that it is the sole right of the high priestess to become the goddess. Each woman has the right to have the goddess descend down upon them. The high priestess may speak the words and do the invoking, but each woman should have that right to have the goddess descend into her and to feel her presence and become her at ritual, if we so desire. After all, we all have the goddess in us, and each of us are a facet of her personality. Whether male or female, we are Isis, Demeter, Hecate, Kali, Bride, Artemis, etc. Maiden, mother or crone, for that is what each one of us are. Depending on the altered state of consciousness of the high priestess and the energy raised, the words that come forth can be moving, poetic and inspiring. During the drawing down of the moon, many witches connect with the power of the goddess and therefore with the power within themselves. To capture more of the essence of this rite, the description of it given by Margot Adler in her book Drawing Down of the Moon will be paraphrased. After listening to a tape called Drawing Down the Moon, sent to her from a coven in Essex, Adler writes, "I did not know it then, but in this ritual, one of the most serious and beautiful of the modern craft, the priest invokes into the priestess, or depending on your point of view, she evokes from within herself, the goddess or triple goddess, symbolized by the phase of the moon. She is known by 1,000 names, and amongst them were those I had used as a child. In some craft rituals, the priestess goes into a trance and speaks. In other covens, the ritual is more formal, dramatic dialogue, often of intense beauty, in which again the priestess speaks, by taking the role of the goddess. In both instances, the priestess functions as the goddess incarnate within the circle. On the tape, the background music sounded as if it might have been Brahms. The voice of the man and woman possessed an English accent. Clear were the words of the invocation. Listen to the words of the Great Mother, who is of old also called Artemis, Aphrodite, Diana, Brigid, and many more other names. Remember, the moon is there whether we see her or not, just as the goddess is with us whether we see her or not. As I have stated throughout this course, visualization is one of the most important things for any kind of magic to work, and that includes drawing down the moon. If you cannot visualize, you cannot only not feel her presence, but your circle that you cast will be lifeless. The ritual. Cast your bubble or circle. Stand with open arms and imagine that you are outside it in an open field, and the night sky is illuminated with her presence. It is so bright out that you see your shadow. As you stand there, hear the creatures of the night. Smell the night air. Stand facing the moon with arms stretched and head towards the moon, and see this haze starting to swirl down from the full moon like a misty fog. Slowly this fog descends from the moon, and it starts at the top of your head. Feel this light slowly start descending into you. Not too fast, as it might overwhelm you, but slowly. The top of your head starts to feel a radiance about it, and then that feeling moves to your throat, chest and stomach, down into your pelvis and down through your thighs, and as it slowly moves through each part of your body, feel this warm, tingly feeling, which will go all the way down to your toes. When it finally reaches your feet and you feel rejuvenated and alive, and feel her presence within you of love, compassion and wisdom, then do you speak as she, for you and she are one and the same. The charge follows below. I am goddess of 3 moons. I am mistress of the night. I am the richness of the earth. I am the moon and the seas. I am all that was and is and ever shall be. Nor has any mortal ever seen that which lies beyond my veil. For I am indeed mistress of mysteries, and the keeper of keys. I am queen of all living things, for I am goddess of nature. I smile, and the radiance of the moon is everywhere. Gather in secret if you must, but do not tarry too long behind closed doors. For it is in the richness of the earth and the bountifulness of the sky that my true temple is to be found. And the moon and the sun and the stars will keep your secrets. I am these things and more. Hear my words, my children, and worship and be glad. Look for me within these things, but above all, within your own soul, for it is there I am. I have been with you in the beginning, and I shall be with you at the end. I am the womb of your new beginnings, as yet unimagined and unknown. Remember, eating of the cakes and drinking of the wine at the end of the ritual will help ground you and help dissipate that charged feeling of the goddess, so that by the time you shut down your circle, you should be returning to your natural state and will be able to go to sleep. Since most witches do circle work at night, and most particularly moon rituals, the high priestess should ask the goddess to leave your body or hers after delivering the message. Drawing down the sun. Similarly, when the god force is drawn into the circle, the high priest becomes the god incarnate. The latter ritual is known as drawing down the sun, or the drawing down of the horn god, or calling down the moon. The ritual. Find a suitable place outside where you won't be disturbed. Cast your bubble or circle. Stand facing the sun with your arms outstretched. Say the following. O great God, Suunos, beast and man, shepherd of goats and lord of the land, I call to you to attend my rites on this most magical of nights. God of the wine, God of the vine, God of the fields, and God of the kine, attend my circle with your love and send your blessings from above. Help me to heal, help me to feel, help me to bring forth love and weal. Sir Unos of the forest, Sir Unos of the glade, be with me as my magic is made. Feel the great Lord enter your body at the tips of your fingers and slowly spread throughout. Feel his power. After your ritual, thank him for attending and remember to eat cakes and wine before closing your circle. This week's assignment. I would like you to draw down the moon at the next full moon. Also, on the next fine day, draw down the sun. Remember your cakes and wine before you close the circle, because you'll feel drained if you don't. Record your experiences in your journal as normal. Okay, that is the end of lesson 18. Now, as extras for this week's lesson, okay, I've printed out separately for you the Witch's Rune. Alright, so you can have this with you to refer during any ritual, rather than have to have the whole lesson and try and rummage through and find it. You can just refer to that. Alright, and then just as a bit of a bonus, did I show you that? Okay, I don't know if you can see. That's the printout for the Witch's Rune. You also, as a bonus, are getting this one. You can have a bit of fun with that. Okay, these are a recipe for ritual cakes. Alright, ever so simple. Ever so simple. You don't have to do these, you can do anything. It's fine. Cookies, biscuits, cakes. These are ritual cakes, but they're more like a cookie, really. And as you can see in the picture, hopefully you can see in the picture, we make them in sort of like crescent moon shapes as a bit of a novelty. Okay, so you can make those to have with ritual. Alright, now as per normal, there will be links in the description below to get these two printouts, as well as the printout for lesson 18. Also in the description below, you'll find a link to our Patreon page. If you're thinking about becoming a Patreon, you'd be very welcome to join what we're calling our Schoolies group. If you don't know anything about it, click on the link down below and have a bit of a read up about it. You don't have to do it. It's totally optional. It's your choice. Okay, that's about all I've got for this week's lesson. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button to subscribe to the channel. And someone once told me that some people think they're going to get charged if they subscribe to the channel. That's not actually so. You can subscribe for free. So hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell to be notified every time we release a video. And until next time, it's goodbye from Hilltop Farm. See ya!